Have you seen it? That weird orange sky, the smell of smoke hanging in the air, even when the actual fire is hundreds of miles away. It's a feeling that is getting way too familiar, isn't it? Wildfires just feel closer, they feel more frequent, and a lot more personal than they ever have before. So that's what we're going to dig into today. Why this is all happening, and the incredible new ways we're actually learning to fight back. Let's get into it. Yeah, this quote it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It captures our new reality perfectly. What used to be a distant headline is now, for millions of us, just a recurring part of the year. And this isn't just a feeling we have. It is a documented shift in our environment. And the scale of it, well, it's staggering. Just look at this number, 18 million hectares. That's how many hectares burned in Canada alone during their 2023 fire season. To put that in perspective, that's an area larger than many countries. And the smoke from those fires? It traveled all the way across the Atlantic to Europe. This isn't a regional problem anymore. It's a global one. And that's why experts are calling this a new age of fire. What we're seeing isn't just a bad season here or a bad season there. No, this is a fundamental change in how fire behaves on our planet. So what's the deal? I mean, what's really driving this new age? Well, the science is crystal clear on this one. Human-caused climate change is creating these perfect, supercharged conditions for fire. It's turning our forests into tinderboxes, and the science behind why reveals a really dangerous cycle. And this is where we get to something called the climate feedback loop. And trust me, this is where things get really scary. See, it's not just that climate change causes more fires. The fires themselves are making climate change worse. It's this vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. Okay. So a key scientific idea behind this is something called the vapor pressure deficit. I know, it sounds super technical, right? But the idea is actually pretty simple. As the air gets warmer, it gets thirstier. It acts like a giant sponge, literally sucking the moisture out of everything. Plants, trees, the soil itself. And this creates these vast landscapes of bone-dry fuel, just waiting for a spark. And this right here, this lays out that whole vicious cycle perfectly. You can see it clear as day. Okay, so step one, forests burn and they release huge amounts of carbon that they've been storing for centuries. Step two, all that extra carbon in the atmosphere traps more heat. And, well, that leads directly to step three, the planet gets hotter and drier, creating the perfect conditions for, you guessed it, even more intense fires. It's a loop that just keeps feeding on itself. But here's the thing, right? Fire isn't new. It's been with us for a long, long time. So to really get what's happening now, we kind of have to look back at the lessons written in flame. These huge historic events didn't just cause destruction. They fundamentally changed how we even think about fire. This timeline shows a few really pivotal moments. Back in 1871, you have the Peshtigo fire, the deadliest in U.S. history, but it was almost completely overshadowed because it happened on the exact same day as the Great Chicago Fire. Then, in 1910, the Big Burn absolutely terrified the nation and led to a century-long policy of trying to put out every single fire no matter what. And then, much more recently, the 2018 Camp Fire showed us the terrifying new modern danger when it completely wiped out the town of Paradise. Each disaster forced us to learn. Okay, so that's the heavy stuff. But the story is not all doom and gloom, not by a long shot. We are now entering a totally new era, one where we are actually fighting fire with code. This is where technology and artificial intelligence are completely changing the game, giving us a fighting chance like we've never had before. I mean, just look at this toolkit. This stuff is straight out of a movie, but it's happening right now. We have satellites scanning for dry vegetation from orbit. We have sensor networks on the ground, measuring soil moisture in real time. AI-powered cameras, drones with thermal imaging, all of it is feeding massive amounts of data into a central AI brain. And that allows these amazing algorithms to see the whole picture and predict not just if a fire will start, but where and how fast it's going to spread. So why does all that tech matter? Well, it comes down to one absolutely crucial thing: speed. This chart says it all, really. Traditional fire detection relies on someone seeing smoke and making a phone call, which can take hours, even days. AI can detect the unique heat signature of a brand new fire in minutes, sometimes even seconds. And that difference in time? It's everything. It's the difference between a small, manageable fire and an unstoppable inferno. And all this new technology has enabled a complete revolution in how we even think about fire. The old way, born from the fear of fires like the Big Burn, was total suppression. The philosophy was put out every single fire. But ironically, that just led to a dangerous buildup of dead wood and brush on the forest floor. The new way is so much smarter. It's proactive. We use AI to predict risk, and then we use tools like controlled burns to safely clear out that fuel, because we now understand that some fire is natural and even healthy for an ecosystem. So where does all this leave us? What does our future with fire actually look like? It brings us to a place where we have to learn to live with it more intelligently. The real answer isn't just buried in ones and zeros of computer code. The strategy of using controlled, prescribed burns to manage landscapes, well, that wasn't invented in a lab. It's a practice indigenous peoples have used for millennia. It's this combination, ancient wisdom, guiding modern technology, that really offers the most powerful path forward to a more resilient world. And so that leaves us with this one final, really big question. We have developed these incredible tools to predict, to detect, and to manage fire. We can see it coming like never before. But do we have the will to address the root cause, the changing climate that is making our world so much more flammable in the first place? That's the real challenge ahead of us.